Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Shelly from Shelly's Bakeshop. Today we're going to do a cake that I'm going to bring to a little get together I have tomorrow. It's a 6-inch 3-layer cake, a vanilla cake with chocolate mousse. We've already baked everything, made all the icing, dyed it all. The cake is all assembled and ready to go. Now the way we're going to decorate this cake is that we're going to do the watercolor effect only on the sides, and then we're going to use the rosettes like we did on the rosette cake and on the cupcakes, but we're going to just use them as decorations along the top and kind of spilling down the cake a little bit. So we're going to combine some of the techniques that we've done so far, add a couple new ones. I'll show you how to make different flowers with those same tips, the 1M, the 2D, all of those tips that we've used in the past to make our rosette flowers for our cakes and our cupcakes. So let's get to work. Okay, so we're just gonna get started putting some of our peach and our darker peach along the edge for our watercolor. And this time I'm gonna try to just use my angled spatula instead of using it in a bag. We'll see if this is any easier because it's a little bit pressed into the cake, a little bit more to begin with. So I'm just going ahead and I'm putting the lighter peach in various points on the cake. And I do want to leave it a little more white this time, so I'm not going to put as much on. Okay, so now that our sides have the watercolor and it's a little bit smoother, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put rosettes along the top, kind of falling down, maybe a couple over here. So I have my dark and my light peaches. We're using 1M for our dark peach, 2D for our light, and then I do have bags of each of these with couplers. That way we can trade different tips, have varying sizes of our rosettes. So I'm going to kind of start in the center of where I'm going to have my rosettes cascading, because I'm going to try to make it get a little smaller as it comes out. So we'll do one big one there, one a little smaller, leave some space for our lighter ones. Maybe we'll do here. I'm gonna try the tip 133 now. We'll see what kind of shape it gives us. I'm not too familiar with all of them and exactly what they look like, but this one's very similar to the 2D tip, so I'm sure it's going to look fairly similar. This is 17. This is tip 32, so I'm just using a wide variety of tips. Give me all different kinds. You could see some have, looks like more petals, some have less. And then we will go back and add some leaves. So all of these that we've done so far have been that same rosette technique where you start in the middle, go around, and let up on how much you're squeezing it. We're going to try a couple different types with the same tip. Again, this is the 1M with my darker peach. I'm just going to put it down and twist it. It makes a different type of flower, so we'll go ahead and add some of these on here. Give it some more variety. Now I'm using the same one that I just did with my darker peach, the 17, and instead of going around in a circle, I'm just going to put a little star. They look like little flowers. So just however you use the tip, you can do multiple different flowers with it, different techniques with the same tip, and they look really cute. Now we're back to our 133 with our light peach. And again, I'm not swirling, I'm using the same tip, but I'm just squeezing the icing, stopping and pulling away to make a different type of flower. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to add some leaves in with my 352 tip. And remember, we're just going to go underneath, squeeze, and as we pull away, let out. Remember, when you're using this tip, it has 2 points. You want to make sure they're on the top and the bottom. That's going to give you your leaves where they come out on the sides. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and take my white. I kept a bag of white buttercream. As you saw, we added some on the sides when we did the watercolor. I'm going to use the Wilton Tip. It's just a circle. I decided that I thought it might look pretty with some white just dots like pearls. Could even go in the middle and make your flower have a center. Now, since we did a couple white little dots on it, I'm going to go ahead and just do white circles for my border. Originally, I thought I would do a shell border, but I feel like that's going to be too much texture with all the flowers. I didn't actually intend to put as many flowers on as I did. I got a little carried away. I had a little too much fun making them, but I think it looks pretty good in the end anyway. This cake is just going to be for a get together with my family and some family friends of ours that we haven't seen in a while. So I left the space. I'm trying to think of something I might want to put in the center. If this was for a birthday, you know, put a little less flower on top and you have some space that you could put their name, or you could write happy birthday. It would look cute even with like a candle in the middle if you had a topper, one of those ones that stick up and just says love if it's for an anniversary or a wedding or bridal shower, Valentine's Day, whatever you might have. This tip that I'm using is a 12. So it's just a circle like the one that I used on the dots, but it's bigger, so it's 12. Now I'm using an even smaller tip. We're using the 3. It's just a circle again. I'm just going to go ahead and write something on my cake. Okay, so it's finished. I've been pretty pleased with how it came out. I think it's very pretty, and it was very similar tips, but they look like totally different flowers. They look like they're a lot harder to make than they are. I think next time I would put a little bit more color up near the top of the side when I did the watercolor. My sister's here helping me. We got a little bit obsessed with the bottom, and then we were putting a pearl border on it anyway, so we covered up a portion of it. But I like the white dots that we added. I think the hello came out really cute in the green. It really pops because there's not that much green on the cake. I think next time I would put a little bit less flowers on it. I really did get carried away, but it really is very pretty. And if you were to make those unicorn cakes are really big, you would do like the same technique with all of these flowers and have them trail down. It would be like the hair or the mane or whatever you would call it. We did realize that when we were doing the side of the cake with the watercolor, we had iced the cake and put it in the fridge for a little bit because it does have chocolate mousse in the middle. We had to make another half batch of buttercream, so it had been sitting for a while and that icing got stiff. So as we were putting the peach colored icing on to smooth it to make the watercolor effect, it was making it look really rough, we had to go back and put more white icing on it so that it was able to smooth a little bit more. So if you are going to do a watercolor cake, either do the extra colors that you're applying on top right away, or if you are gonna let it sit for a little bit, make sure that you keep that in mind, that you're probably gonna have to add more of that base color on so that it'll smooth nicely as you're creating that watercolor technique. Overall, I really like how it came out. I think it's a really pretty cute cake. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them below. I'd be happy to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Have a great day.